really drove 16 hours for me to flip around like a little doll? Really? So let me cook my veal. You have better things to do, you little doll. So you like fish? You wanna? You can come in the van if you want. You wanna have? You wanna watch LFG? You can watch LFG. Wait, how old are you? It's official. Gunther hates his fans. I don't know what's going on in this guy's brain, but his fans literally gave him everything, alright? They sucked his ass off since the indies, and now he's saying...
It's like I appreciate it, but then I did like meet and greet recently, and there was like one person, they said, drove like 9 hours or something to the meet and greet. And I said to her, I was like, appreciate it, but... never do that again. Like you do something do something with your time that actually benefits you. It's like a waste of time.
Oh, that is amazing.
And I felt like she looked a bit sad, but I felt like that's the only responsible thing to say at that point.
The audacity to say that, especially to a girl, right? This is like probably some little girl. There's nobody above the age of like what, 17, who's gonna go out and drive for Gunther. Okay, 6 hours? Nah, that's like some 16-year-old. She just got her G2, you know. That is the type of person, that is the type of fan that I believe Gunther, you know, basically turned down. And it's not like there's a sea of people waiting for Gunther. Oh my god, I love you, Ring General. I love you, bro. No, there was one girl, and she drove 6 hours. The audacity in Gunther's mind, the arrogance that this guy has, I don't know what it is, all right? The guy thinks he's like Michael Jordan or some shit. Now, if you guys haven't seen the clip, Gunther basically said that wrestling is just a job.
It's my real passion.
Gunther's chef show.
Wrestling is not a passion anymore. It's a job now. Cooking.
Cooking is my passion.
Cooking is my passion.
Alright? It's just something that he clocks in and out of, and now his real passion lies in cooking food. Now you might say, oh, you know, he's eating healthy, Intern John. Like, you should be proud of him, Intern John. He lost weight, Intern John. But then why is he still looking like a piece of gum stuck to the bottom of a desk? It's kind of weird because the way that he talks in the ring, right? He always says that, I love this ring. I love it. I love the ring. I love it. The guy loves the ring. We get it. But then where is like your abs, my friend? You know what I mean? Like, where is the shape that demands the respect and attention in the ring? It doesn't make any sense, all right? Now, if Goldberg said the same thing, I love this ring and I die by this ring, it's like, oh shit, I believe you, bro. This arrogance, this laziness, this like audacity all comes from Triple H, okay? It's his fault. The way that he's gassing up all these indie stars coming from Mexico, coming from Germany, coming from the UK, it doesn't matter where they come from, okay? Triple H loves his internationals. Look, if Vince McMahon had a better lawyer, okay? Somebody who can pull off the impossible, all right? And he was still in charge of the WWE, oh my god, Gunther would be a jobber. Gunther would probably be doing breakdance moves in the middle of the ring. Alright, look, you can just connect the dots yourself. Gunther is a piece of shit. Alright, he hates his fans. He calls wrestling just a job, even though his whole gimmick, his whole shtick is glazing the ring. I love this sport of wrestling. I love this sport, and I want to lick my boots before I enter this ring. Oh my god, man. Gunther, man, he's like a Phineas and Ferb character to me. Like, the way that he looks, he just looks like one of those Russian spies that, you know, that are trying to be serious, but you can't take serious, okay? Gunther, to me, is like that, okay? I don't know what it is with these neckbeards who, like, glaze him and love him. There's nothing really special about his moveset, okay? And I don't want to hear, oh, it's just the way that he does it, bro. I see a big boot, slow as hell. In WWE 2K, that's like an animation I would never choose, right? That big boot looks slow and ugly, all right? The powerbomb, slow and ugly and weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm talking about with Gunther. It doesn't matter, oh, it's the way and the technique he does it, and he just puts on 5-star bangers, bro. You gotta see his chop, so powerful. Yeah, it was powerful when he was 346 pounds. None of his moves, other than the chop, looks vicious. It just looks like some friendly big boot. Like I'm playing in the yard with my friends. Alright, that's what it looks like. And, you know, again, it just shows that this guy is just lazy and arrogant. He's got gassed up by the pretentious neckbeard fans who say he's the best wrestler in the world. There's probably, neckbeards in the comments typing away right now, right? They're fucking rooster necks jiggling away right now. But guess what, right? He's not Michael Jordan. He is not LeBron James. I've seen this picture floating around, and I honestly think it's reversed, okay? Chad Gunther was the big fat fucker, okay? The guy who didn't give a shit, eating whatever he wants, boom, just chopping people across the chest. That was the badass Gunther, okay? When he was Walter. Now this guy, right? Oh, he's not that ripped anymore, man. You know those guys who have like the same profile picture from like 2016? You know what I'm saying? Like they have the same profile picture back when they were in shape. I know some of you guys do that shit. Like I'm a victim of that too. I've done it before, but still, that is what Gunther's doing here. To me, I feel like he's just in a complacent place, right? He knows for sure there's like security with Triple H being in charge, so he doesn't have to train that hard. He doesn't have to run on the treadmill that long. He knows within like the backstage politics of this bullshit, Triple H loves this guy. He's gonna ride for Gunther no matter what. Why? Because NXT UK. It's like his first startup project, and Gunther got it off the ground, and he's just in love with Gunther ever since, bro. That is what's going on here. Okay? Now, I could already see the neckbeards in the comments, okay? Oh, he's a 1960s wrestler, man. They were not in shape either. Come on. That's not even like a fair comparison, because back in the 1960s, you think these guys had apps to track their macros? No. You think Eddie Graham had fucking, writing down his macros and shit and counting his protein? His BMI? You think he gave a shit about that? No. And you think that even existed? There's no tools to help the guy, okay? Like, so there's no excuse with him being, a little chub. Okay? It didn't matter back then. But now it matters. You have these tools to track your calories, all your macros, right? You have all these things that literally like make life so much easier for you to be in shape, especially as a wrestler, okay? Look, if you're watching this right now, you're like, oh my God, I'm not in shape, Intern John. That's not the point. The point is these guys are entertainers on Netflix, okay? They're supposed to be larger than life individuals, larger than life characters, that are like basically scalable to like the Avengers, and you have Gunther looking like a 1960s wrestler, bro, right? Not even a wrestler, a fucking mechanic. He can easily reverse all this stuff. Go on a 10-week dirty bulk, right? Get all your burgers in order, get all your get all your Austrian desserts in order, and just go crazy, all right? Mukbang. He needs to do that for about like 10 weeks, while he's injured. Please, I swear to God, he better come back looking fatter. I don't want to see this guy looking shredded, looking like Ludwig Kaiser. I don't want to see that shit. Because it's just stupid. It just loses his essence, man. The essence was in that fat. Okay? He needs to gain that shit back, man. Please. Please. He needs to fat max. Let me explain that idea a little more. Umaga, right? When you saw him debut in the WWE, did you ever think to yourself, oh shit, this guy's obese? No, you did not. You did not. What did you see? All right, you saw a tribal badass who didn't give a shit, right? This guy didn't give a shit if he wiped his ass that day. He didn't give a shit if he cut his hair. He doesn't care. All right, Umaga was that guy. He was intimidating, right? And it didn't matter about his weight. No one's really looking. Right? The aura negates the fat. Okay? We need more people like that in the industry. All right? And you're probably like, no, man. I don't want to see fat people. I want to see more jacked people. I want to see 100 Tommaso Ciampas flipping around. I want to see 100 Roman Reigns flipping around. No, man. Sometimes I don't. I'll be honest here. All right? I loved the different body types they had back in the 90s. All right? Back in the early 2000s. Right? The Big Daddy V's of the world. I loved all that shit. All right? I'll just call it what it is. It was interesting on a random Friday night. You're flipping the channels and shit. You see Jamie Noble getting squashed by Big Daddy V. right? Or you see Umaga, taking down somebody like Colin Delaney, right? That stuff to me would, it would be interesting matchups. It would be interesting matchups. Okay, for everybody to watch. Think about it. A grandma strolling by would love to see that. Okay, they would be intrigued at least. But nowadays it's just reversed. Like everybody's like, similar height, similar sized. Everybody's trying to look like a green juice drinking guy, when in reality, no, I want to see, Cjax525 take off his shirt and be fat. He looks like a ravaging, savage type of, tribal badass. It works. Okay, I'm not even trying to joke around or anything. Like, honestly, if I was like semi-fat, right? Or like even just like, Umaga type of build, right? I would literally be so proud of myself and like tattoo my whole body, lean into it, and just be a fucking, Samoan badass. That is what Gunther should do, man. All right, I'm sick of this. Oh, everyone's trying to be fit. Everyone's trying to be a fitness, Pilates going, green juice drinking, influencer type of build, man. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It takes away the immersion of being a wrestler. Okay, it takes the immersion away from these matches, especially. One thing to me that stood out the most is when Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther, they made their debut, right? NXT UK, and Gunther was big. He had that, intimidating factor to him, and he looked like the boss of that group. Okay? But then when he started slimming down, started, doing crunches and shit, running on the treadmill, it looked like Ludwig Kaiser was leading the group. All right? He was fit, the same size, jacked, ripped, whatever you want to call it. Okay? He looks like a James Bond villain. All right? 007. Now you look at Gunther. Oh my God. It's just double D's. Okay? The guy is just, he lost his presence is what I'm saying, okay? The presence was gone. It got swapped. It got switched around. And it's ridiculous because I want to see Gunther become fat again. I want to see him, gain the weight, okay, in a relatively, healthy way, right? I don't want to have any health scares. But I want him to gain that presence back again because right now, he just looks like he's an idiot. He just looks like an idiot next to Drew McIntyre, next to Ludwig Kaiser, next to John Cena, all these guys who are jacked as hell, right? Doesn't make any sense, all right? He's got to lean into his chubbiness, okay? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for sticking through. Hit that subscribe button. You guys already know who this is, okay? It's the high rise living, work, wife, stealing, intern.